Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I was right, and unfortunately, my prediction will be fulfilled in the near future. I think it's happening as we speak, but it will accelerate with time. What am I talking about? I don't know if you remember, I said on multiple occasions that that's the way Ukraine will succeed in fighting the Russians. I'm talking about manpower. They will run out of manpower, the Ukrainians. People who don't want to fight anymore, people who are not to be grabbed from anywhere, people who will just, leave the country and so on. And what will they do? They will base their military or their forces on volunteers, but not volunteers from Ukraine. I said many times they're going to be volunteers from NATO countries. And that is, NATO countries will have troops coming to Poland, take off their uniforms, put the volunteer uniforms, take a picture as a volunteer, put it right here, clip, 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 in case they have their brains blown up, and the Russians are finding, oh, he's a volunteer, and they will enter the territory of Ukraine as volunteers, as platoons, as they were in whatever country they may come from. This is my 99%, opinion, assessment. I think it's occurring right now. So more and more of these people will show up named volunteers. Probably there will be some volunteers, volunteers as volunteers, but not enough for the Russians to target. So we have here an article from a UK military expert, and I like experts a lot because, when the new voice of Ukraine pushes an expert, obviously the expert says the right thing. So let me read you this article. This is from June 3rd, 2024. Long term, Ukraine needs to rely on volunteer army. UK military expert says. Let me show you the article so we're not accused of anything. Right there. It's from the new voice of Ukrainska. And let's see what these guys are saying. Lackluster pay and insufficient compensation for combat injuries discourage Ukrainian citizens from volunteering to join the military. Former UK Defense Intelligence Officer and lecturer of military strategy at Portsmouth University, Frank Ledwidge, told New Voice of Ukraine on June 3rd. I think it's not about the pay. I think the Ukrainians, being smart, they figured out who they're fighting for, and they don't want to fight for Zelensky and for the guys behind Zelensky. I know they try to push the narrative that it is a war of national survival. I don't think it is. It's just they try to muster and squeeze that kind of nationalism, patriotism from the Ukrainians. And unfortunately, some of them, I think, fall prey to that. By the way, here where I'm at, I see a lot of Hercules planes, transport planes, flying in a certain direction. Almost every day I see a few flying a little bit south of me. And as well, if I drive the car here, I saw a lot of transport trucks with things I don't even know what they are. But nevertheless, let's move on. Ukraine is currently facing challenges in recruiting citizens to join its military on a voluntary basis. Catch me if you can, basically. However, in the long run, the country needs to build an army with the maximum number of volunteers, says Ledwidge. And I'm quoting, the best soldier is a volunteer / mercenary. He is worth 10 conscripts, end quote, the expert says. The expert is right. It's true. But the problem is this. The mercenary fights for money. So if someone pays more, he's gonna switch sides. And the mercenary, if he sees that his skin is fucked, he says, the money, I saved my life. Versus a patriot, nationalist, a person who loves his nation, a person who loves his family, has something, something more than money to defend and protect. He's gonna gladly sacrifice his life for his family, nation, tribe, and so on. But if that person sees that in charge of his tribe is a non-tribe member, well, when he realizes that those guys that are not tribes members are dictating and are supporting him to fight for a war that could have been easily avoided, but it was not avoided by those guys over there because the Russians wanted to discuss with the Americans and NATO. If you remember, in December 2021, Ukraine was like a sideshow because they knew Ukraine has no power, is in the of the West, mainly United States of America. Now, according to Ledridge, Ukraine has reached a point where recruiting volunteers it's struggling due to lacking compensation. I don't think that's the problem. I think money will be printed, money will be typed, and money will be wired in that way. And there will be enough money for that. I don't think that's the point. Currently, the incentives for potential servicemen and women, especially, bring them on. But first, put them about 60 pounds to carry in the field with me. No way. You go with you guys, I go with these guys. You go with the gals, I go with the men. Or they will be the ones that they will tell you, hey, you have to move southwest about 500 yards because the enemy, okay, and you move over there. And then boom. So they will be our bosses in the future. You can't make it anyway. So it says here, for potential servicemen and women seem less attractive compared to those who from comfortable civilian jobs. Besides the baseline salary, the issue is insufficient government support provided in case of injury. And they also say that these guys don't even know how to use the guns. He said they are not prepared, they're not good. It says here, there are alternative recruitment models. For example, during the Vietnam War, the United States implemented a selective draft where conscripts were chosen through a lottery. You won the lottery, you go to die in Vietnam. For whom? However, doing the same in Ukraine is too late, Ledwidge says. Firstly, there is no up-to-date military reserves database. Secondly, there is a potential political chaos that could arise from further attempts to change mobilization legislation. Well. So, they need a good volunteer army, long term. Will they find it? Yeah, not Ukrainians. They will find some Ukrainians obviously willing to die for some money, or nobody hopes to die, obviously, when he goes over there and thinks about, yeah, that's a possibility, but I will be smarter than everybody else, and I will not die. When shit hits the fan, then they will say, that shit, let's go home, or wherever. And I suspect that NATO will have troops not only as, trainers or instructors or as whatever euphemism they want to use, they will have as volunteers. Or they will say, those are Ukrainian volunteers that we trained in the West. And there will be about, like $200,000, I was about to say, 200,000 volunteers coming, but not many of them speaking Ukrainian, if you know what I mean. They're getting there. And they're going to ask for you. Germany thinks about bringing 900,000 reservists. I made that video yesterday just to get ready to protect Germany, because Russia, as idiot Zimmerman said, intends to attack Deutschland über niemals. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.